what do you think about we're valuing the wrong things because perhaps to your point that we're disconnected from our own, maybe empathy to ourselves or our own feelings? Because I think if most people could connect to those, I'm sure it'd be pretty obvious that like being the top producing lawyer in your firm is not something that you're really feeling that is giving you a lot of um, fulfillment is maybe one thing if you enjoy what you do, but like there's that emotional aspect of these relationships and all of these things. Do you think we've become a little disconnected from ourselves?
Well, I mean, we're a fully integrated system, and if you want to have really the very best life possible, you have to integrate all the systems: the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. You may give your life to others, and you might be a physician, but you don't take care of yourself. You've ravaged, all the time you have with your family. You haven't spent a lot of time with family.
Hmm.
Your whole life, all you've done is give to others. And at the end of your life, you actually hate medicine. And it's
Right.
and you wanted to get out as quickly as possible because you didn't find the balance in all the things that matter so much to you, even your own health. So
Right.
you can't have a big life if you're not taking care of yourself, not getting a lot of energy, a lot of rest, good diet, nutrition, exercise. So we try to build an integrated model that respects the way the system was engineered, and then to try to get the priorities straight and develop a mindset that reflects those priorities, and always check your coordinates. Always check, do I have this right now every day? Do I have my bearings right? If I'm going to get home, am I on the trajectory that's going to get me there? And what is home? Home is ending up where you want to end up, and remember the legacy that you would like to have on that tombstone that truly reflected who you were when you were here. And if you constantly look at that and don't bury it, you're likely to make better decisions. You're going to make the hard choices, and you're likely going to have a much more fulfilling journey as opposed to waiting for the end for a big hit. And
Right.
that might be an Olympic medal or getting into the Hall of Fame or whatever. And I mean, that to me it's a critical insight into the way the system is designed.
As empathy is a big focus of the book, I wonder how do you think about um, where to find the limits of empathy? Whereas, so you're not giving too much of yourself to others or thinking of others too much, where you kind of forsake yourself and then not taking care of yourself. Because, like you said, if you want to live this big life in positive ways, you have to have the physical and nutrition and mental fortitude to be able to take care of yourself. So where do you how do you think about the limits for how much empathy we can extol to other people or the world?
So we have a lot of assets to guide ourselves. One of them is what I would call, your analytic, your logical brain, which is magnificent. You've put all the facts on the table. You you look at the truth, the unvarnished truth. You try to get the things that are indisputable on the table that really represent the reality as best as you can get it. And then you have another asset, is your heart, this compassionate circuit, empathy and warmth and caring and love. So what does your logical brain say? What is your empathy? What does your compassionate brain say? Which is a very valuable circuit. What does your intuition say? There's an intuitive in your gut. For thousands of years, your gut has been honed to try to help you instinctively make the right move. So we have a lot of assets, and a great decision, you're going to tap into all of them. And then you're going to have what I would call this values-based circuit. And this is your
Hmm.
getting home. This is your character. And if you put all those together and work them, you're going to come up with what I would refer to as a wise decision, the best decision you can make. If you're simply always on the emotional side, the empathy side, you can make maybe some really bad decisions because you didn't look at the whole picture. But
Right.
you want to tap into all the assets, your character, your logical brain, your empathy, and your intuition, this gut feeling, and see where they take you. And most importantly, vet them against getting home.
And what would you say to people on the opposite side of that spectrum? That people that maybe they know that they don't have maybe a high regard for themselves or other people, and they're a bit of a misanthrope, but they would like to have more empathy in their lives. They would like to be able to, have that, maybe that piece on the tombstone that, like, you know, John cared for other people, and but John right now just feels like he fucking hates everybody. So where does John, where does he start? How does he start using an empathy muscle that has atrophied over the years?
So you start with what do I want? Who do I want to be? And that's your destination. That's getting home. And then the truth. Well, what's the truth about who am I now? I don't have the empathy and the warmth and caring. I'm not headed in that direction. And then the third step is to start investing energy to bridge the gap. And emotions are trainable, just like the muscles of the physical body. You have to invest in them.
Right.
And there are lots of ways. The book outlines a number of ways to invest in caring and empathy. Sapiens Reinvented is all about the neuroscience of how to train those feelings and emotions, because they oftentimes they become the igniters. They lead the way. Our feelings and emotions often dictate where we end up. So if you want that, you can have it, but you're going to have to work every day with that in mind and grade yourself. If you want to be a more caring, loving, caring, and compassionate person, that's within your grasp. Your brain is very plastic, but it has
Mm,
to have repeated signals every day, just like going in the gym and lifting weights. You can't do it one day. You're going to have
right.
to do it repeatedly over time. And eventually, that investment of energy spawns growth. And that growth will eventually lead to an expanded capacity. You can have it, but you're going to have to go to work.
I love that because I really use the workout analogy as well when I speak to some men, that it's almost like an emotional musculature. Like if you've never been to the gym before, or you used to and you haven't worked out for 10 years, you don't show up and start bench pressing your body weight. You have to use just the bar or even less because you've let all those muscles atrophy. So in the
100%.
emotional,
100%.
landscape, it could just be, complimenting a friend or
Just
going
saying,
to meet
just saying
someone,
thank you and just trying
saying
to feel
thank
what
you.
they're feeling in the moment. There's a number of ways to do that, and you start with small steps and gradually increase until eventually you have a genuine sense of compassion and empathy for others. And that's the goal.